Hey bro, it's been a while since I've done one of these, but today I'm gonna walk you through a full on-field sprint session or speed session. Recently, I kind of stopped posting on this channel, but since I've got a new camera, I don't have any excuses anymore to not post. So I'm gonna be commenting on some of the exercises and some of the things I'm gonna do, and let's get to it. So of course, just like with any workout, you gotta make sure that you're properly warmed up, because I've seen a lot of athletes who just jump straight into working out, straight into a full 100% sprint, 90% sprint. And it's a recipe to get injured, because if your body is not properly warmed up, your muscles are not going to be properly activated, and you wouldn't be able to execute an exercise properly without injuring yourself. So the first 10 to 15 minutes, I always make sure to warm up the body, get a sweat going, get a little pump going, so that I know that when I jump into the intensive exercises, because it's going to be quite an intensive workout, I'm not going to get injured. So let's get to it. Of course, with this type of workout, you're going to make sure that the warm-up you're going to do is going to be kind of supporting the exercise you're going to do next. You should try to avoid static stretching as much as possible. I'm not saying don't do any static stretching. Try to minimize it, because it's proven that static stretching is going to minimize the force you can actually produce. You should try to prioritize dynamic movements, because this is what you're going to do for the workout, and that there's no need to do a static stretch. The exercise you're going to pick or the exercise you're going to do are going to be fast and dynamic. Of course, in the first couple of minutes, I just do a normal dynamic warm-up, which you see every footballer do before a workout or before a game. These are really good to prep up the body for the next portion of the warm-up or the next portion of the workout, because I wouldn't really consider the next one a warm-up, because after these we're gonna jump into some light extensive plyometrics and some sprinting mechanics, which are gonna prep us for the more intensive sprint afterwards. What I like doing, and what I encourage every single athlete I work with to do before they start their more intensive sprints, or even before they start their warm-up, is to think of it like progressively increasing the intensity when you start. As you can see in the beginning, the first couple of exercises I did were just quite basic, light jog, just slight movements, slight activation of the muscles. Then I'll slowly increase intensity when I get to those more activational exercises like this one, and from there I'm gonna do the sprinting mechanics, and then slowly increase intensity with the sprints. I'm gonna start with like 50, 60, 70% intensity on the first couple of exercises, and then I'm gonna increase it from there. This will also ensure that you're not jumping straight into 100. Even if, let's say, you've done your warm-up properly, and then the first exercise you do is at 100% intensity, there's still a risk of you getting injured. So I encourage every single one of you to just progress it slow and don't jump straight into the most intensive exercise of the workout. As I already told you, now I'm going to be moving into the sprinting mechanics. I'm going to lay out a little 10 to 15 meter field or a line, and I'm going to do 2 sets of each variation. There's going to be like 5 or 6 variations for this one. As you can see, I'm just slowly walking on the way back. I'm not sprinting, I'm just taking my time, making sure I'm well recovered between each rep and between each set. What I see a lot of athletes do, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but when they're doing their sprinting workouts and their speed sessions, they're just overly exhausted after every single rep, after every single set. And then after the workout, they're pretty much tired. They just can't do another rep anymore. And the thing is, with speed, you have to make sure that with every rep, you're properly rested. You have to make sure that with every rep you can give close to 100%. I'm not saying that you should go 100% each rep, but you should try to aim for at least over 85% at every single rep. How do you measure this? Pretty much on feeling. If you have a device to measure it, it's even better, but I know most people don't, and most regular athletes and most regular people who train don't have this type of equipment, but that's okay. If you can feel that you're giving a lot less than 85-80%, then you need a little bit more rest. I suggest that if you're gonna do a full sprint, let's say 90%, you should try to take at least 2 minutes between every single rep. If it's something like this, like sprinting mechanics or something a little bit lighter, or some agility exercises, then it could be a lot less. It could be around 30 seconds to a minute. But if it's a full-on sprint, then you need a lot more rest. And I see a lot of athletes just don't get enough rest. and their sprint sessions pretty much turn into conditioning workouts, which is not a bad thing, as I said, but if your main goal is speed, you have to act like it. So I just finished with the sprinting mechanics portion of the workout. Now I'm gonna move into the main section, which is gonna be 4 exercises. The first one, I don't really know how this one is called, to be honest, and I don't really care. The second one is gonna be, the second and the third one are gonna be some lateral change of direction drills. And the last one is gonna be I'm gonna do 8 sprints, and that's gonna be my whole workout for today. I kind of lied to you. I'm not gonna do 2 change of direction drills. I'm gonna do a half circle sprint, and then I'm gonna do 1 change of direction drill and move to the full-on sprint. I'm sorry. So this was pretty much it for me for today. I didn't do 8 sprints like I said I would. I did only 6. I cut out 2 sprints because I just felt like my body wasn't prepared enough, because it's been quite some time since I've last done a sprint session like this. So I felt like just my body was telling me not to do the last 2 sprints, because I was starting to get a little bit tired and I want to keep my legs fresh, because I also have to hit the gym either this evening or tomorrow morning. We're gonna see how this goes. But yeah, I didn't want to get overly tired, so I just said I'm gonna cut the last 2 sprints and I'm gonna call it a day for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like this type of content, because as I said, I'm gonna be doing a lot more videos than this, since I have this camera now, then I don't have an excuse not to do so. I noticed that my mic has stopped working, but I was saying that I think about posting once a week or twice a week. I'm gonna see how this one will go. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.